see.
All right, we'll open up.
Which chair? All right, here we go.
We'll open up with a statement from Coach and then take questions.
Sure. Yeah, first I want to give UMES great credit. They, they're a team that was like up a few points at UConn last year to start the season late. Beat Fordham last year. Who obviously had a good season in the Atlantic 10. And then a buzzer beater to lose at St. Joe's early in the year. So, we told our guys, hey, they're going to come in with a vigor, and they were top 10 in the country in turning people over last year. And obviously, they started the game with, we told our guys that obviously, and yet, they really, sort of punched us in the mouth early with it. And I thought, for the most part, we responded pretty well late in the game. I thought we could have obviously taken care of the ball better, and we got to look at the press break a little bit and see why not. But I had some funky lineups in too with the foul trouble, and I would also say I was really, really happy that Kwanzi attempted to take that charge late in the game.
Questions? Marcus?
What was your overall impression just coming off of the Hofstra game and how this club responded tonight?
Yeah, I thought we had a good week. A week of. I told them afterwards, it's really hard to win. Winning is very, very difficult at any game, any level. Been now a part of. I figured it out because I'm hopeful. Coach L this weekend can get his 700th win, and I figured out it was part of 418 of those, and then 3 now here. So it's 421. That's what my GW student athletes told me. I can't count. So every one of those is usually hard somewhere. Even the ones you win by a lot, at some point they're hard, and many of them are really hard. So I thought to go on the road and beat a one-possession game, at Hofstra, who's towards the top of the Colonial, and had beat Iona. Obviously Iona's really good. They've got a great coach in Rick Pitino. To be in that game, one possession, then to come back here and have command of the game for most of the game, I thought was a pretty good response.
And do you have any concern about the times that you've been in foul trouble?
Yes.
Some of the main guys.
100%. Yeah, I'm very concerned about it. I am. It's stuff that we're trying to fix. It's not stuff that was created this year. Excuse me. Historically, there have been guys who have fouled. I'm trying to help them with it. Certainly, early in the game makes it difficult, right? When both those guys have 2 fouls early, it's problematic. But they're going to have to figure that out. We're going to have to figure it out. They're going to have to figure it out, and we've got to get better at it.
I know you talked about turnovers a little bit earlier, but on the night, the turnover to assist ratio was almost 2 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
How do you look to rectify that going forward?
We're going to recruit more guards. As I've told you, I think we're the only guy to ever inherit a team with like 10 centers on it, and no guards, or only a couple guards. Usually it's the other way around. Usually trying to find. No, again, I'm going to give credit to UMES because that's their style of play, right? They are a team that turns you over to top 10. The MEAC is the number 1 league in the country in forcing turnover as a league. And they were number 1 in the league, in top 10 in the country. So that's what they do. So I think you got to look probably at that. I was late. Again, we've got to really look at what we did there with the press break and see why we turned it over. I thought maybe we hung on to it a little too much. We could have gotten out of our hands and then fouled that way.
Good.
UMES is a pretty small team overall.
Yeah.
Ricky, Hunter, Kwanzi, and Noel, are all bigger. I'm pretty sure than any of their guys. How do you think you were able to use them in the lineups and use our size over
Yeah.
tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we had 36 points in the paint. Obviously, we only made 4 threes. I thought that, a lot of times, it's one thing to be big. It's another thing to be able to punish people with your size. And, I don't necessarily think that that's the makeup of our team. But I thought Ricky, obviously, he was on the glass. We did have, again, 36 points in the paint, which is probably a pretty good night for us. We're normally a team that's going to shoot the three a little bit better than we did tonight. Even if we make, two more, that balances out a little bit better. But also felt like in the first half there were some chippies that we missed. That we're right at the rim, just missing. Again, you're gonna have to watch, but I thought for the most part the ball was in the paint a good bit.
Good.
You guys briefly went into a press in the second half for a little bit and then came out of it pretty fast. Was that just to throw a new look at them? Was there something you saw there you didn't like?
Well, we've been kind of in our zone, three-quarter court, soft pressing back to the zone. We're working to try to get a little bit better at it. Again, foul trouble tonight. Probably we brought it out a little bit earlier to bring Ricky back in the first half. Was effective against Hofstra for much of the second half. We're tinkering with it like a lot of teams are at the beginning of the year of sort of what your secondary defense is.
Any other questions? Good.
Yeah, I just noticed Daniel Mason didn't dress for tonight. Can you
Yeah,
comment
he
on
had
this?
some sort of, I don't know, some sort of upper respiratory thing that he's over now, but he's a little bit fatigued, hadn't practiced, so I think he'll be fine for going forward.
Anything else?
I was thinking